Only 10 experience for those guys? Oh, man. All footage in this video is captured using my retro USB AVS. No emulation here. So, today is actually the 35th anniversary of the release of the original Zelda 2 on the Famicom Disk System in Japan. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to do a first time playing on this romhack, Zelda 2, The Shadow of Night. Now, I actually have this as a physical cartridge. I have not played it. I only got it in the mail kind of recently. But it's very highly regarded out on the web. This is probably the best reviewed ROM hack of the game. So I don't really know what to expect, but we'll see what happens. I am pretty familiar with the base game. There we go. And I'm, as with some other NES titles, I've kept up with, like, the speedrunning community and stuff, but I'm not familiar with this ROM hack. Okay, so it looks like instead of the temple, I maybe started off in Link's house, and I can't go left. So that's interesting. Okay, already, the palette is a lot darker than the original game. It kind of makes sense because it's called The Shadow of Night, right? So for those who aren't really too familiar with Zelda 2, this was the sequel to the original Legend of Zelda. Now, the original Legend of Zelda, of course, was a three-quarter overhead view action-adventure kind of a game. And this is obviously, primarily a side-scroller. This sort of came out of the era where when Nintendo would make a sequel, they kind of tried to reinvent the game using the same general, plot setting, that sort of a thing, as the one before it. Most of the time. They wanted to do something really different with this game, and they did. And let me see which town this is. Okay. And the original Zelda 2, alright. The original Zelda 2 was not super well received by fans in retrospect. The blind exploration needed to complete the original game was pretty serious. There are a lot of sections of the world map that are feature locked behind dungeon items and everything else, and that sort of contrasts with the original Zelda 1, where you could access the entire world map right from the start of the game, except for 2 screens. Oh, thanks, guy, for trapping me in that conversation. And in Zelda 2 here, rock slide, okay. You needed to, get a hammer item and a flute item and a raft and, boots and all this other stuff in order to actually... Thanks. In order to actually access big chunks of the game. So I'm going to have to go through that town again. And needing to backtrack and stuff was not a real popular thing back in the day. And it's not a popular thing now. A lot of people frown on backtracking elements in games like this. Now, I also noticed, in addition to the palette being different, the music is slightly different, so a little bit of a remix there. And I only started with 3 health and 3 magic. So that is definitely a bit of a departure. Alright, what's this lady got for me? Alright, your father lives next door. That's great, but what does that do for me? Does that let me get into his house? Oh, alright, guess the door was open. Hey, little guy. Okay. So one of the things in the original Zelda 2, right? is that each of the towns had like a sage in it, an old wise man. Oh, perfect. Get that right off the bat. That would teach you a spell. A couple of the towns also had like a retired knight who would teach you the jump stab, the upward stab, which would be like a vertical attack when you jumped, and also the downward thrust, which is like a pogo attack. And the dungeon items, unlike in the original Zelda game, were not like attack items that you used. There's like a candle that lights up the caves, a glove that lets you stab through blocks, bunch of other stuff of that nature, like the raft, that has like the dungeon items primarily are going to give you overland uses rather than uses in combat. You don't get to like, throw a bomb or something instead of your sword. Whereas in the original Legend of Zelda and a lot of the subsequent ones, the items that you got in the dungeons would have like direct combat utility. In this game, not so much, or at least in the original Zelda 2. And I am not liking the fact that there doesn't seem to be anywhere for me to go except for caves. I'm just going to wait for that guy down below to get out of the way and despawn there. I'll just do it this way. Because one of the elements in this game is that, as you can see, I go into a cave and it's pitch black. And this happens until you get the candle. And in the normal game, you only have to go through one cave until you get a candle, and the cave is still illuminated somewhat. Like you can see the ceiling and the floors and stuff, but here this is like just a pitch black screen. I don't like that. I'm gonna just die from nothing and have no idea what happened. So I am not a fan of that mechanic. So I'm hoping that maybe one of these other caves is going to give us the key. I'm sorry, the candle. Because, yeah, I saw this over here. And in the original game, the first cave that you have to go through is incredibly simple. There's just like one enemy literally in the cave. But here, this ROM hack is noted for a level of difficulty, so I really don't know what to expect. Man, how many hits do these guys take in this? This is brutal. Oh, well, that's great. I fell into lava in the middle of a cave before I could get a leaf. Alright, so I got information out of that. We'll hope for the best here. And see, like, I can't tell if I'm moving or if I'm up against a wall or what. I really don't like just having to go blind through the dark like that. Alright, there's a palace down there. Oh, well, that's useful. That busted bridge. Alright, before I go there, let's look around down south. Now, I am really hopeful... Whoa. I am really hopeful that first palace... Oh, come on. That first palace is going to have the candle in it. But I guess we'll see. Oh, alright, I'll take that. Yeah, it's never one of the interesting things about a lot of old classic NES games, um, benign elements of the environment will kill you. Like you just saw, I was taking damage from bubbles. Like, why the heck are bubbles gonna hurt me? Oh boy. Oh, this is interesting. All right. Why the heck would bubbles hurt me, right? But in Zelda games, well, anything goes. Oh, geez, these guys are gonna take more than one hit. Wow. So, did I mention that this game has a reputation for increased difficulty? In the normal version of the game, those dumb little enemies that I was just fighting, those die in like one hit even without any upgrades to your attack. And in fact, they're so trivial they don't even give any experience in the base game. So I was kind of surprised to see I got an experience point and that they took more than one hit. Oh, really? That's cruel. That's cruel. That's really cruel. This is not going to be a simple jump, and I'm probably going to die trying to get through this. Ugh. I don't even want to think how many hits that guy takes. Alright. Oh. Crud. Well, at least the heal spell isn't too expensive. There's a small element of mercy there. So thank you for that. Only 10 experience for those guys? Oh, man. Ooh. I will take that. Oh yeah, cheese the block. In the base game, in some of the later dungeons, there are dead ends like this where you can jump through like a hidden passage in the wall. Again, where this game, this ROM hack, has a reputation for increased difficulty, I'm fully expecting all kinds of like hidden stuff like that all over the place. So we'll see what happens. Oh ho ho! Ooh. Ah, that caught me by surprise. I forgot that guy was there. Oh man, that almost ended very badly. Alright, we'll do it this way. Oh, come on! And of course, I'm gonna die on this guy. Without any attack upgrades, these guys take 1,000,000 hits. And there's probably, like... See, this is, an artificial element of difficulty. You notice, because he takes so many hits, I'm, like, pushing him back. I'm guessing that back here... Okay. I was guessing that back here there's gonna be another enemy. So that because it takes so damn long to kill him, I was gonna end up pushing him into another guy. And I'd have to be fighting both of them at once, which is tedious beyond all imagination. 20 points? Oh. Oh, man. Really? Maybe this isn't so much a difficulty curve as it is like a tedium curve. Wow, okay, progression is going to be locked behind the jump spell, which of course I don't have. So that is more than a little annoying. I'm guessing based on that, that there's going to be huge amounts of backtracking necessary, but we'll find out. I don't know, for all I know, maybe getting up there isn't even really super important. Whoa. We'll see. Alright, I did get the key, and that was my only key. Perfect. Oh, crud. Timed that stab completely wrong. Alright, I gotta see how many points these guys give. So I apologize. Fighting this guy is probably going to take me like 20 minutes. Wow, that took forever. Oh, boy. Just skip right through that. Man, the experience point nerf is pretty serious. I think these guys used to give like 30 points. The overall darker palette is... Oh, crud, yeah, of course. I forgot I can't just swipe those guys out in one hit. But the overall darker palette... Oh, gee. The overall darker palette, I'm digging it. I think it works. A little bit of an acquired taste, maybe, but I think it's decent. Crud, I should have used the heal spell. Alright, this is key locked, and I'm out of keys. But I still don't... Of course. Of course. Damn. But I still don't have the jump spell, so I'm still locked behind that. Yeah, those knights, you know, back in the day, playing the original Zelda 2 as a kid, these stupid knights were always so hard to defeat. But once you figured out that little jump and stab trick on them, I mean, they're absolutely nothing. And I have no keys, and there's going to be a key-locked door up here. No. There's a glove-locked door. I need the power glove to get through there. Ugh. Tedium. 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 So, the glove, I'm thinking, is... What? Whoa, that's unexpected. How did that happen? Huh. Okay, normally, the bosses in Zelda 2 are in, like, a boss room, not just out in the middle of a level like this. And it looks like he is going to take 1,000,000 friggin' hits. And he's doing a lot of damage. Wow. Okay. Well, there's my first time playing... Oh, you are dead, thanks. There's my first time playing Zelda 2: The Shadow of Night. My first impression of this ROM hack is generally positive. I don't think the level of tedium is going to sit well with me in the long term. But it seems very well made. I'm definitely going to give it a full playthrough. It's probably going to take a while, because, with a ROM hack like this, there aren't exactly going to be, map guides and stuff you can usually find. So that's one of the things that actually appeals to me about ROM hacks like this, is that you're recreating that original experience of blind exploration and everything. So I'm definitely gonna give this a full playthrough and see what happens. I don't know how it'll end up going, if I'll end up finishing it, but we'll see. But I'm gonna call it a game for now. This was Zelda 2: The Shadow of Night, my first time playing it and getting my butt kicked by the horse knight there. And happy 35th anniversary of the original release of Zelda 2. So, as always, thanks for watching.